That's a very catchy tune, The Tender Trap, wonderfully sung by Frank Sinatra. And joining me again right now is Brent Phillips, man who's an expert on the life and career of the man who directed this film, Charles Walters. Now, you know, with so many people like Celeste Holm, who was a wonderful singer and actress, and David Wayne, who did musicals in his career, yes, and Debbie Reynolds, who certainly did musicals, yes, and Frank Sinatra, why do you think they maybe didn't have each of those people do a number or two and really turn it into a musical?
You know, I think, you know, at this time, musicals were surprisingly going out of fashion. And unless there was a big Broadway show coming in, like Guys and Dolls, they really weren't creating original Hollywood musicals at this time. But here's kind of where the genius of Charles Walters comes in, that even though this was a comedy, it very much feels like a musical. He very much could blur the borders between genres very easily. No, MGM wasn't making musicals anymore, and yes, he was a musical director, but he was able to now kind of channel that in another way and kind of create these comedies that seem like musicals. We have Debbie Reynolds doing the number in a rehearsal, and we have this great backstage story and everything happening. So even though it's not a true musical, it actually sort of feels like a musical, which they weren't doing at this time.
So this is actually the first film he did with Celeste Holm and Frank Sinatra, who later he would make High Society with.
Correct.
And this is his first film with Debbie Reynolds,
yes,
who later he would work with again,
yes,
on The Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yes.
So this is the beginning for him with a couple of really important assets to his career.
It is, and even though sort of the star system was diminishing at MGM and there was such an exodus of stars, there still is some continuity with the performers that he got to work with, which only can help when you already are comfortable with an actor to be able to work as a director-star relationship, which is something that Charles Walters did so effortlessly. And it's only because, you know, they were able to do multiple pictures together. And it was actually Charles Walters who fought to bring Celeste Holm into this film. Celeste Holm, for some reason, was not liked by Dory Sherry, and basically Chuck said to the producer of The Tender Trap, which is Larry Weingarten, he said, I want Celeste Holm for this part, and I don't know why Dory Sherry would not have wanted her. She had already won an Academy Award for Gentleman's Agreement, and she she kind of adds such weight and such emotion to this film because she is quite remarkable.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on. We have more ahead. Brent and I are going to be back in just a few moments to bring you another film from director Charles Walters. It's from 1953, and it stars Esther Williams, Van Johnson, and Tony Martin.
Tonight on TCM's Friday Night Spotlight, jump into the pool with Esther Williams in Easy to Love. The Navy office workers scheme to build a rec hall in Don't Go Near the Water, and Lucille Ball puts her best foot forward.